Moon Knight, Episode 6. No title. No, seriously, there's no title. Look, it says in the end, right there above Moon Knight's head, it just says Episode 6. There's literally no title. Anyway, let's continue. How do you do, G-Pot crew? It's your Naughty Lottie Potty here, and today we are reviewing and fully breaking down Episode 6 of Moon Knight, titled Episode 6. I mean, it's a season finale, and I actually didn't know it was a season finale until one of my viewers actually pointed it out to me, which is pretty concerning, where I felt we were going to get at least 2 more episodes, have a climactic ending. And it would be cool because a lot of people have been judging this show very harshly because it doesn't have the action that they're used to when it comes to Marvel movies or Marvel shows or Marvel in general. And it's a lot more based on grounded life problems, multiple personalities, just the crazy stuff that you don't want to see, you just want to see fighting. And then a lot of people also like compare him to Batman, which of course he is like Batman in that way. I understand the concern. I think this is just an introduction to him to bring him into the world of Marvel. So when we get to the Avengers and get all these characters grouped together, it'll work. Again, I have high hopes that what Kevin Feige is doing with these shows and these movies that a lot of people are concerned about is going to pay off. Because the reviews for Multiverse of Madness are in, and I'm just going to say it's half and half. And I want to go based on my own. I hate looking at reviews, but when they're kind of pushed in your face, it kind of becomes something where it's like, okay. And I'm seeing some people that have done videos that said they loved it and put it in their top 10. And then some people that are saying it's like a train wreck, like it's like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. It's like, how is it one person that's huge into the world of reviewing is saying it's fantastic, while the other person is just saying it's horrendous? The reviews are Marvel is one of those things I'm starting to notice that he has really good reviews or really bad reviews, and everything is split. So when it comes to Moon Knight and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm gonna judge it for myself. If I enjoy it, if I'm happy, good. I can't let other reviewers, decide how I feel about something, whether or not I enjoy it. If it's based on a way a movie's produced, I understand. But I'm also looking, when it comes to the Marvel Universe, as a bigger picture. We're looking at something that's huge, that a lot of people have high expectations for. So when they don't get something that they're used to when it comes to, like, oh, I don't know, Endgame, Infinity War, Captain America, Civil War, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, things like that, they kind of get disappointed, and you're expecting a lot out of a company that's churning out a lot of stuff that is going to be oversaturated. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and go straight into the full breakdown, do my final thoughts on this whole series, and then let's shut it down for Moon Knight and move on to the next project, which I think will be Miss Marvel and then She-Hulk. Miss Marvel is going to be totally different from this. It's going to be definitely more childlike behavior. But anyway, with that being said, let's get into the full breakdown. Now, when it comes to Moon Knight, a lot of things have kind of strayed here and there from the comic book. And one of those things that felt like it kind of strayed was the whole AMMUT character that they did use in the comic books. But the original one was the original god, or the Egyptian god, is one that all the other elder gods feared because it was all about death. It's the devourer of death. It's the one that is the conjurer of death, things of that nature, something that a lot of the gods don't want to see. So this is actually an image that you can find through Wikipedia of what the AMMUT would be within the Egyptian world, things of that nature. I'll be honest with you, unless this is about to get really cool and epic with this scene, because I mean, so far this looks visually cool, but it's all about the context of the episode. So let's continue, and again, I'll give you my final thoughts at the end of this video. Now, if you've been watching every single review and full breakdown I've done of Moon Knight, you notice I've said something key that is even in my end screen. When you go to my end screen, you see a reference to the comic book about I once was dead, now I'm alive. This is because KHONSHU, as I've stated in the beginning, can bring MARC SPECTOR back to life. I made it a thing that was just regular, but not realizing that this is the first time this actually happens in the show, and it's a big part of, I guess, what's going to be Moon Knight in general. So I guess going forward, every time he dies, he just comes right back to life, just like he does in the comic books. And we see it right here with KHONSHU. But I guess in this way, they're not doing it as KHONSHU. It's not KHONSHU bringing back MARC SPECTOR, it's himself, which I guess kind of makes sense. I don't know. But I figured since it feels like the full breakdown of Easter eggs is going to be limited, I wanted to point this out because it's something I've already pointed out several times throughout the series, but now it actually happened. It actually happened. Do I have to state the obvious? This is obviously a joke on Batman and, you know, the moon and him casting his bat, you know, symbol, and now it's the Moon Knight symbol, which works because it's a moon more than Batman would be compared to the moon. And of course it's Moon Knight, which is just touche. Touche director, touche writers. Very nice way of using him as a way to make the Moon Knight symbol on the moon. Very funny, gentlemen. Well, this is unexpected, but this is starting to make sense. Now, I'm just making a prediction. I'm literally paused it from here as soon as she yells Layla right after this part, and then brought it back to explain what I'm talking about. If you remember, Taweret is the hippo, and I was a little shocked when I first saw the hippo, thinking, what the heck is this? So I did some research. But in the comic book world, Taweret isn't even mentioned, utilized in any way when it comes to the Marvel Comics. So she never gains an avatar that they use within the comics. This show is literally going to use Layla, a character that's not in the comics, to become Taweret's avatar, a character that's not in the comics. So it may be just for this episode they're doing this, or this may be an ongoing thing, but this is not Marvel lore. Just to state, if you're looking for a breakdown on this, this is not Marvel lore. This is brand new in general. Now, first and foremost, this part of my full breakdown, I want to make sure that you're aware that there is a end or mid-credit scene that you need to watch. And it connects to something I said in episode 3 about the character that pops up that both Mark and Steven have no idea about. And now it's confirmed. Jake Lockley is the third character. You can see the eyes right here in the corner here. And you see the hat. The hat I've been waiting for. That is the hat of Jake Lockley, as you see right here. Now, I don't see the mustache, though. But again, his face is covered, so he could have the mustache right here. And we don't see it. But, yeah, he literally just pointed out, this is the Jake Lockley. This is the one that works for a lot of like gangsters and mob bosses, works within the inside of confines of those areas. So that was the mid-credit scene of stuff that as a comic book geek I already knew about. I guess it's a big reveal for someone that's like, oh my god, what is that about? And then it just ends there. It works, but I feel like there's a lot missing. And that's where I'm going to go ahead and just jump into my final thoughts. Okay, before I jump into my final thoughts, there's no mustache. It confirmed it at the end. And there you have it. That is the season finale of Moon Knight. First and foremost, I feel like I was correct when I stated this is going to open the doors to the Marvel Knight series. That last shot, which again, if you didn't watch the mid-credit scene, go watch right now, then come back here. But showing Jake Lockley kill Harrow with a gun is not something you see in the Marvel Universe unless you're going into the Marvel Knights universe. The adult stories. Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Blade, Deadpool, and of course now Moon Knight, which in a lot of ways when they finally go, hey, why did you call it Marvel Knights, they can say, well, it's a reference to the comic books, and our first intro into the Marvel Knight series was Marvel Knight. It just works. I think that's why they did it. So as far as my final thoughts, I understand why people hate this series. This series, it's not as great as any other Marvel series. Honestly, to me, it makes sense to introduce a superhero character that has multiple personalities that make him good and bad. Mark Spector and Stephen Grant are going to work together properly, but then Jake Lockley is going to be like, no, I'm here, and we still have KHONSHU because of me. So Moon Knight's not gone. It's still here. Layla is the curious thing. Is she going to keep her avatar? Is that going to be something that her and TAWERET'S going to be a part of? It is a new character, and I actually thought her suit was pretty badass, to be honest with you. But yeah, there you go. Moon Knight, final episode, episode 6. What do I think? Not the best one. It's actually really low on the totem pole. I still feel I like this better than Hawkeye, but at the same time, it's kind of hard because I have realized myself as being a purist of loving anything Marvel because I just love Marvel in general. So it makes me happy to see little things like the Jake Lockley thing and all that kind of stuff into actual like film. But then I have to remind myself that it's not that great. But then again, we have a lot worse stuff. X-Men 3: The Last Stand still exists. X-Men Origins Wolverine still exists. Green Lantern still exists. I like to think that at least because we have those bad movies, that we have things like this. But you may not agree with me. A lot of people I know are not going to agree with me. This isn't the best show. It isn't the best series. It's by far not even in the top 5. But it's at least a good door to open to something new. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Next is going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and then Miss Marvel. Then, of course, we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming out this Thursday. And then from there, some dead air. But we do still have Halo. Halo tomorrow. So, still got content, just on the other spectrum. Like, Spectrum. That's a bad joke. You know what? I need to go. As always, I'm Putty with the G-Pod crew, and you know what we do. Review shows that you might not like, but I do. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.